Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing August 2024 bargain bead box. That'll be the Peach Sorbet collection. This is part one. This is the piece that I made for this video, plus the matching earrings. I think it turned out really nice. It's perfect if you're still in that summer vibe. It already feels like fall is around the corner up here. It's starting to cool off quite a lot. But I really do like the way that it turned out. I love it. I do have something I added in this video today, one of my own designs on how to add beads to these beautiful stainless steel cord necklaces. I love these things. And like I said in the video, I love the way that they sit and they pull the pendants that I make out and display them beautifully. For those of you that love to bead, this is the perfect video for you. It is a little bit of beading involved. Like I say in all my intros, it is very, very easy pattern. But I did use some 28 gauge wire just so I could have these sit in a certain way that I wanted, because if I use thread, they would just hang. That's not what I wanted when I had this image in my head. But I really, really like the way that it turned out. And you can make it as short or as long as you want. I had thought about making them quite a bit longer, and I may actually make another one, but with a longer danglies. I really love the way that it turned out, and the matching earrings too. Before we begin, please like the video. If you did like the video, hit that subscribe button if you like the content here. And also click the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of upcoming videos. I do upload every Friday, but I may try to fit one in here and there, especially come the winter time when I'm not quite so busy out in the field. I may put more together. I've been doing really well. I've actually got this video plus 2 more already ready to go. I'm already way ahead of the game, which doesn't happen very often. Okay, without further ado, let's get to these projects. Okay, for this project, we are going to be using the stainless steel necklace cord. This one here is in black. I actually today just found these necklace cords on Amazon, and they are in all kinds of different colors. I will leave a link in the description area below. I absolutely love these things. So they do have these screw-on end pieces, but we are going to be bypassing this whole situation to make the necklace we're going to make today. I like these because of the way they sit on the neck and the way that the pendants that I make flare out and are displayed when you wear this type of thing. These ones also do not turn color. I don't have any problems with wearing these. I think they are the best invention ever, and I have found a way to put all kinds of beads on here, and yeah, so we're going to cover all that today, but this is what we're going to be using. If you want to use the chain that came in this collection, so this is this Peach Sorbet collection, this is the chain that they had given us in this collection. I'm not going to use this today. I'm not crazy about it, and I really do want to display the pendant that I'm going to be making. It'll display better on this than it will on this. So you can use this if you want to. I am not going to use this today. 8mm peach quartz round beads. These are dyed beads. We're going to be using some of these today. The 8mm peach quartz, they are number 3 on your list. We are going to be using the 13x9mm Yan... I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yanwan Agate Peach Charm. This is number 7 on your list. I think this is so pretty. I wish they'd given us more of these. This is so pretty. But we're going to use this one today. We are going to be using a lobster claw today, so I'm going to take it out of the set. This is 10x7mm stainless steel lobster claws. This is number 17 on your list. So we'll use one of those today. And we're going to be using the 15x14mm pressed glass leaf beads in olive ombre. These are number 12 on your list. Aren't they gorgeous? Today's project is going to be so pretty, specifically with these beads. I think they're gorgeous. I'm going to be using the 28 gauge wire. This is faux gold wire. This is from Parawire, and it is non-tarnish or tarnish resistant. It really does not tarnish, and it will be covered in beads anyway. You're not going to see it, But I find the wire from Parawire, it is really tarnish resistant. A lot of the wire that I have that I use, I really like using from Parawire because it does stand the test of time if you don't want to be bothered to patina pieces or patina wire. This is the wire to go with. We're going to use our flush cutters, a pair of flat nose pliers. We are going to be using faux gold 20 gauge wire as well to make our clasp ends, which don't get scared. It's not going to take, it's nothing at all, honestly. It's very, very easy. And a chrome marker. I have used this in the past for some of my pieces. You can get these off of Amazon. They come in a set of 3. This one is the gold. And then some high viscosity UV resin. This is going to be for the clasp endings. Okay, so we are going to start with the stainless steel necklace cord, and I'm going to undo it. Now, as you know, these are crimped on the ends here, so you're not going to get any beads on here. I want beads on here, so we're going to cut these off. Yes, we are. We're going to cut them off. I'm going to use an old pair. This is a really old pair of flush cutters, so I am going to trim that off. And we're going to trim the other side. Off it comes. And there we have our wire cord ready for our beads. We're going to make the pendant part of this necklace first, and then we'll add everything together. So we are going to take a piece of 28 gauge wire. I'm going to cut off a foot anyway, approximately a foot, and we are ready to begin. So I'm going to take, oh, and I forgot to tell you, you are going to need a pair of round nose pliers. I'm sorry, forgot to tell you that. Okay, so I'm going to take the wire, put it in between the pliers with about 1 inch on one side. Again, you probably don't need that much, but I always like to have a little bit extra. And I'm going to bend it down like that. Then you're going to take the short end, pull it to this angle. And then all you're going to do is wrap that around with your finger, probably 2 or 3 times. You don't need a lot, but 2 or 3 times will be fine. So it's wrapped around 2 or 3 times on there, 3 times actually. I'm going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to cut that end off. Then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to flatten that the best I can onto that main wire. And what we have is a nice little loop we have created with this wire. I also forgot to tell you, you're going to need some 11O seed beads. My goodness, I don't know what's wrong with me today. These are 11O seed beads in galvanized gold. So I'm going to pour out a couple. So I'm going to take these leaves, I'm going to get them ready here. We're going to now add 7 of the 11O seed beads onto the wire. Pull them right to the end. I'm going to take one of the leaf charms now and add it to that wire. Pull it all the way down to your other beads. I'm going to bend the wire so that the seed bead pretty much sits on top of that charm. So it sits like this. Let me see if I can get it for you. So it sits like that. And I'm just going to wrap this wire around that bottom seed bead and just wrap it around there a couple of times. Just twice would be fine. I wrap that wire around the bottom seed bead twice. And you want your, your wire coming out the right side here or the left side. It just depends on your, how you want it to sit, but I'm going to have it sit to the right. Now I'm going to add 5 seed beads on there. Then we're going to add an 8mm bead. And then add another 5 seed beads. Then add another leaf charm. And you're going to do the same thing by bending it so that the seed bead is right on the top there. Like that. Then you're going to take your wire and wrap it around the top twice, just like you did before. 2. And basically, I'm going to go around one more time just to the front to have the wire sitting at the bottom. Like this. Because I want those leaves to kind of be one on either side here. Then I'm going to add another 5 seed beads. Another of the 8mm bead. And as you can see, this type of pendant, really easy and very pretty. Okay, I'm going to add another 5 seed beads. Isn't that cute? All right, we're going to add another leaf charm. Just making sure everything's tight. Sometimes the wire can be a little bit funky to work with, but you can do it. Okay, so I bent, again, that wire so the seed bead sits right on top of that leaf charm. And we are going to bring the wire around to secure that charm again. I'm going to bring that wire around that last bead a couple of times. And then I'm going to leave it to the back because I want it to be coming out this side. So this is what we have created so far. I'm going to add another 5 seed beads here. Okay, there's another 5. I'm going to add one more 8mm bead. Another 5 seed beads. And then we are going to add the peach charm. I decided to take the jump ring off the peach charm. We really don't need it at this point. I just want to make a wrap, my final wrap around the peach charm, and then finish this off. So I'm going to hold everything really tight. I want everything to be tight. I don't want this to be loose. I'm going to bend my wire up on the peach charm, and then just above the loop on the peach charm, I'm going to wrap that wire between that and the last seed bead, the last 11/0 seed bead. I'm going to do a couple wraps just to secure it really nice. Maybe 3 would be good. I think 3 would be fine. I'm going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to cut that as close as I possibly can. Now there is a little bit sticking out there, so I'm just going to bend that down with my pliers gently, just so to hide it. This is the first part of our beautiful charm. Now I'm going to do a couple more like this. They're going to be a little bit different, so I will do the next one. We're doing 3 all together. This is the longest one. I'm going to do 2 more. We're going to take another piece of wire. So do the exact same thing as you did before. Now this wire here is a little bit longer, but that's not a problem. I'm probably going to be able to do both the next 2 charms with the 1 piece of wire. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Do the exact same thing, bend that down and around that one side of your round nose plier, and then do about 3 loops. We should be fine. I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to leave it on the plier, and I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to press this end piece right into that main wire. Again, you've created your loop. I'm going to do 7 like I did before, and they fit in there really beautifully. we are going to add one of the leaf charms. And when you're using these leaf charms, just take note that there is a back and a front. And I prefer to have the front facing front. It looks much nicer. I'm going to bend the wire so it's sitting like this. I'm going to go around that wire and below the last seed bead and lock that leaf into place. So this one I'm going to do the extra turn so that this wire is facing this way, so coming out that way. So when you do your other one, when you do the next one, because there's going to be two of these, when you do the other one, just have this going down and coming out the opposite direction. You will see why. It's the same exact pattern as I'm doing right now, only this one here will go this way, and then the next one will come down and go that way. I've added 5 seed beads. And this is how it's going to sit. I'm going to add one of the 8mm quartz. These colors, like, they really complement each other. Look at that. I think that looks so pretty. Another 5 seed beads. Let them fall right to the 8mm. And we're going to add our next leaf charm. Okay, and just bend it like you did the last one. And then I'm going to wrap that wire in between the seed bead and the leaf. And that's all we're going to do for this one. So you can actually wrap this around maybe one more, maybe 2 more times. And I would suggest having the end piece sticking out the front. So I finished it off there. I'm going to trim it up. And I am going to press it in. Sometimes if you can't get that end piece pressed in really good and you still find that it's sharp, use a pair of round nose pliers and just press on that wire like that, and you will actually press it in really well. There is our second little charm for our pendant. Now we'll make a third one here. You do exactly the same, except you have this leaf on this side here. So you do your 7, wrap the leaf around, have it sitting there, and then do your 5 this way and go down. Okay, so after you've done the second one, we'll be back to put everything together. Okay, you guys, here's the 3 charms done for our pendant. We are going to go back to our necklace cord and we are going to add everything together. So I'm going to put this one first onto our cord, and I'm going to put 3 to start. I'm just going to see how many I need of the 8mm. So I'm going to put 3 on one side of the cord, and then I'm going to put 3 8mm on the other side. I'm going to add 1 more 8mm bead, and then I'll put that one on there. And I think that'll be plenty of space between. Yes, that should be good. Okay, so I'm going to put another one on the other side. Put that one that we made on the other side. And this is what we have so far. Now, the reason I wanted you to do these a little bit differently is because I wanted one leaf to be sitting this way and this leaf to be sitting the other way. And they kind of fit like a puzzle, if you can see that. And the nice thing about the 28 gauge wire is that you can manipulate the leaves to sit where you want them. You can manipulate the wire to be straighter if that's what you want. I don't. I want it to sit just like that. So I'm going to add another 4 8mm beads on this side and 4 on this side just to finish this off. All right, now we are ready to finish off the ends here. I'm going to grab some tape here and I'm going to grab my 20 gauge wire. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces. I'm just going to do approximately what I think is an inch. It's probably over an inch, but approximately an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter. And I'm going to make them both exactly the same size. I'm going to trim the ends so they are not sharp. I am going to take a pair of flat nose pliers. These ones are a little bit different than the ones I've been using in the beginning of this video. And I'm going to try my best to go in the middle. Now, as much as you want to try to get this in the middle, if I get it perfectly in the middle, I will be shocked. But it won't go perfectly in the middle. So that's about the best I can do. I'm going to bend that wire around my pliers, and as you can see, it is not, which is perfect. So there's one piece. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Try to get it as perfectly in the middle as I can. There, and then I'm going to bend that one as well. Make sure the wires are nice and straight. And I'm going to bend those into each other as close as I can get them. Like that. First of all, I am going to tape these ends down to this board. I'm going to put another piece of tape underneath the cord on either side. So my finger's stuck a little bit. If it does get stuck, just use your, like a pair of, these are nylon jaw pliers. I just use that as leverage. I'm going to place the longer of the 2 ends on the outside. So up against the outside, the inside will be laying up against the cord. Do the same with the other side. And for some reason, I'm always getting stuck on this one. And it doesn't matter how much of the cord you have in. You can have as much as you want. I have about a little more than, probably about 1/4 of an inch going to the inside of my little ends that I'm making here. Now we're going to get some of our UV resin. And I'm going to just take a little dab, not a lot. I'm going to take my little stick and I'm going to take a dab of my UV resin and I'm going to start placing it right here. So right on the necklace cord, fusing it with my wire, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit, not all the way to the top because I want to leave a little area there for, you know, the lobster claw or whatever clasp you decide to use for this project. You don't necessarily have to use a lobster claw, but because it's in the collection, I will use it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do this one as well because I want to cure them at the same time. And I would suggest just going slow. You don't want to do this too fast. You don't want to, you know, put too much resin in at the same time and have it drip over. It's not a nice look. Now I'm ready to cure that. I'm going to put it for 1 minute 50 seconds. Oops. And let it cure. Okay, we are done. Now I did the resin, I did the 150-second resin cure twice with a little one. All right, now I just got to undo this from my block here. Okay, here are the finished cured necklace ends. So as you can see, I only did one side. You only need to do one side because if you look at the back side, it's also done. It's securely set in there. To finish this off, because I think this looks really nice when done. I'm going to take my chrome marker and I am going to color the resin in and just hide that cord. It looks fine this way too, but I like to do this. I think it looks really pretty this way. Okay, we are done this part. These have to dry for about 4 to 5 hours. So I'm gonna let them dry for 4 to 5 hours. I'm gonna come back, finish the ends, and then we will have a look at the finished product. Okay, those ends are dry and ready to be finished. I'm gonna take one of these lobster claws, number 17 on your list, and we are gonna finish off this necklace. And the really nice thing about the way that these ends turned out is that when they only give you one jump ring and one lobster claw, like they've done in this case, it works perfectly because you do not need a lobster, you do not need a jump ring on the other side. So that is what the actual pendant looks like. Pendant charms, the charms on the pendant. I don't even know what to call this. I think it looks so pretty. I really like the way that this turned out. I love these cord necklaces. I like the stainless steel part of it, you know, because it is subject to last a lot longer. And like I said, they have a bunch of different colors now, which I think is amazing. I have white, silver, and the black. I will be ordering some of the colored ones and I will show you those with other projects that I do. But I think this one worked out really, really pretty. And I do like these cord necklaces because they showcase any type of pendant you want to put on here. Gets showcased really well with this type of pendant, with this type of cord. Okay guys, we are going to make this matching set of earrings for the necklace we just did. So you're going to need 2 pieces of 28 gauge wire, 2 of your leaf charms. Then you're going to use the 2 10mm lampwork glass blossom beads in peach. This is number 13 on your list. And then I have some ear wires, 2 ear wires. They didn't give any ear wires in this collection, but I have my own, so I'm going to take my own ear wires. And just a couple of 11 seed beads in galvanized gold. And then we're going to use 2 of the 6x4mm 18 gold plated brass tube bail beads. That's interesting. Bail beads. Tube bail beads. That's different. We're going to use 2 of these, and this is number 19 on your list. And these guys are super, super easy. First things first, we are going to take 1 piece of the 28 gauge and we are going to add an 11 seed bead to it. Just one side. Bring that seed bead right to the middle of that wire as best as you can, as close as you can get it. Now these are just 2 scrap pieces of 28 gauge that I had. So if you want to cut off 2 5-inch pieces of 28 gauge, that's fine. And I'm going to bend this wire so that the 11 seed bead is right at the end of that. Now I'm going to go through the blossom bead and make sure that you have the bottom of the petals to the bottom, and you go take your wire and go through the bottom where the petals are facing the bottom. See them there, facing the bottom there, and then pull it up. Put 1 more 11 seed bead on the top, and I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to use the 3rd mark that I made. So that's where the mark is. If you have a pair like this, you know, just right there, you want the loop to be a little bit bigger so that this, you know, moves around a little bit for the earring. It dangles. And I'm going to bend it over, adjust my plier, bend this back over. We do this so many times on this channel. You guys should know now, right? Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. I'm going to take that off, and that's what it should look like there. And we are going to put this through the bigger part of this bail bead. So the bigger of the two loops. Now that it's through there, I am going to re-grasp just underneath the bail bead. Make sure your 11/0 seed bead is sitting down on the flower. And I am going to wrap the 28 gauge around here a few times. So probably about 5 or 6 times is what I did. I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to press those ends in. Then we're going to take our leaf charm and we're going to put the 28 gauge, the other piece of the 28 gauge, through that bead and go to as close to the middle as you possibly can. Bend it up, get it as close to itself as you can. And then we're going to take another 11/0 seed bead and we're going to put both ends of the 28 gauge through that 11/0 seed bead. So it's sitting as close to the leaf charm as it possibly can be. Now you're going to do the exact same thing. Have the leaf facing towards you. And put your pliers same place as you did with the last flower, the bloom bead. Okay, so I have it at pretty much the same place. I'm going to bend it over. And then bend it back again, making the usual loop on the top. We're going to take that off and we're going to add that one to our tube bail bead. So I'm going to go in this way. Both of those wires go through that. And I am going to do the exact same thing as I did with the bloom bead. I am going to grasp that right there. Make sure that 11/0 is right up against your leaf charm. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. This one here I'm only going to do maybe 3. There. And I'm going to trim that off. You can use a different pair of pliers here, something a little smaller, and I'm going to press that in. Get rid of those end pieces so you can't see them. Now, the easy part, just open up your ear wire. If you're finding it difficult to put your ear wire on here, hold the beads and the wire just like this, and then put your ear wire on there. That is what we will do. Makes it a bit easier. Close that up and press it in, and there we are. And these are a really cute matching pair of earrings for the pendant necklace we just made. And with a pretty set of matching earrings, you're going to be all set for the rest of what's left of summer and a little bit into the fall. There we go. From the Bargain Bead Box, the Peach Sorbet Collection, August 2024. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that you try this design because it is super, super easy. This is the same exact pattern that I made, but I made this one with last year's August Bargain Bead Box. I hadn't even opened the box from last year. Remember, I was on kind of a hiatus. I was working lots, busy, and it was just really hard for me to get back to my YouTube roots. So I made this with that box, and I think it looks beautiful. Like, I love the fall colors. This one I will wear in the fall time because it really represents fall to me. But I mean, if you have extra beads, if you're like me and you have a lot of extra beads around, I have a lot of extra beads, specifically a lot from the Bargain Bead Boxes I've had in the past. Some of them I haven't even opened. You can make several different styles of this type of of pattern. This pair of earrings, if you look on my short content, you will see how I did these earrings. I give like a short little snippet of how I did these earrings. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great day, and I hope to see you back here for my next one. Bye.